Hello guys, this is Coach Ameda from Fit Life. Welcome to my channel actually, where we talk about health matters and we will explain to you every single detail that makes you not hit your goal, especially when it comes to losing weight. By the way, kuna coaches fulani hapa Kanairo by the way, wamejenga mabicep kiasi, so wanadai kwa show ati wanajua sana. I had another coach telling people to use Viagra for pre-workout. Man, don't do that. Actually, these people, they have bicep, but they don't have brain. So I'm the one you should listen to because I'm the one with the motive mouth. And I always speak scientific fact and I can back it up. So today, I want us to talk about why you are not losing weight despite your hard work in the gym and the nutrition that you've been given. Now, before tufike hapo, so acha niwapatie a little bit of highlight. There's something called cosmic cycle. So kwa hii cosmic cycle ni the way things changes. So tunakuanga na ages ama era. Currently tuko kwa era inajiita Aquarian era. So this Aquarian era will last for 22,150 years. So what about this Aquarian era? This Aquarian era is the era of knowledge. So anything we do right now in this generation, sign in knowledge. Tumetoka ile mambo ya faith na belief na blindly following. It's not about ati mtu alifanya ika work out, so sisi wote tunafanya. And this goes to anything that we do, from religion to academical stuff to even fitness. So right now, we are not following blindly, we are seeking knowledge. This is the Aquarian era. Before this, tulikuwa kwa era into Pisces, where people just believe and follow somebody. It lasted for 2150 years. Now we are coming to the end of it. So make sure you seek knowledge before you do anything, because what works for somebody might not work for you. Na utaanza kusema diet ni mbaya, hii workout haifanyi kazi. Anyway, I'm here for you guys. So let me not diverge from the topic. Let me just keep it to the topic. So why you are losing weight despite your workout and diet? Okay, we all know that when you want to work out, when you want to lose weight, the first thing you run to is physical activity. Na majority wanaendanga gym. Some prefer morning run and other physical activities you can do. So physical activity is a first go-to step, and then kuna kitu inaitwa diet, where unaenda kitu inaitwa caloric deficit. And majority of people, they always prefer fasting of any kind. So these are the good. These are good thing to do, but sometimes they don't give us results. So the question is, what exactly can we do? Now, instead of asking what are we doing wrong, what can we do, people always resolve into what can I use? Supplementation. Why unataka things like fat burner, or even the lethal one like Ozempic. But the Ozempic is so rampant these days. I don't know why people are using Ozempic, but I would encourage you to use Ozempic if you don't have a short-term goal that is paying you good. So let me just get it off the menu for now. So when it comes to weight loss, we know that physical activity and diet are the go-to things, and we are told you should work out like this, you should do this. That's good. All those are called physiological anatomy. Hizi ni mastingo tu. As long as you are moving your body, you're sweating, you're burning calories. So mtu akikwambia sijui 10 reps, 4 set, 3 reps, 12 set, hizo ni variation. They don't make much different. So you might work with 4 reps and then another person works with you might work with 5 sets, another person work with 3 reps, but you won't see major difference. If you experience difference, it's not about the technique you're using in working out. And when it comes to weight loss, Let me tell you what physical activity entails. Allow me to rub. When it comes to weight loss and in relation to physical activity, we have two types of physical activity and workout. One is called aerobic, and another one anaerobic. As the name suggests, come on your bio, this one requires oxygen, and this one takes place in the absence of oxygen. Now we get it. Now, most of us, when we want to lose weight, the biggest part of this weight tunatakanga kushed ni fat. We want to lose the fat, especially body fat. Now, body fat, I mean, burning of fat is an oxidation activity. Let me call it activity for lack of a better word for now. So, the term oxidation means it will require oxygen. So the only workout we can do to burn fat has to be aerobic activity. Baadaye najua mnashangaa sasa hizi aerobic ni gani? Kuna zile tunafanya kwa gym kama kudance, kuna zumba na kuna wale mfano wa dunda, rave, jam session. If you still go there, all those are aerobics. Aerobics basically is a workout activity that is slow, prolonged, and takes place at a ventilation of 50 to 75% of your maximum oxygen intake. So whenever you're doing something, this is a biological term. Now I know somebody is wondering, Coach, why would you go so deep into biology? See, to lose weight. It's good to know this thing because sometimes when you do something, you have your coach, he's pushing you so hard, umefika mahali, but he keeps on pushing you because they believe the harder you work, the more you burn. It doesn't work that way, and you guys are walking proof of that because I see a lot of fat, frustrated people. Sorry, it's not politically correct to say fat, but I'll just say it. I see a lot of fat people who have been going to the gym for ages and ages and are still frustrated. So that's why we need to talk about this and see the reason, the real reason. Nobody is talking about why you are not losing, and they are all here. They are called weight loss inhibitors. Just to mention a few biological reasons why you cannot lose weight. We are coming here, so stick to the end. So aerobic activity. Aerobic activity is any slow, prolonged activity that you are breathing at a ventilation of 50 to 75%. And this activity include walking, long distance, jogging, and marathon. So anything beyond marathon, anything you will do to a point where you cannot sing while doing it, maybe running. You know, when you're sprinting, you cannot start singing. Actually, you'll be panting for air like a dog. Feeling, yeah, that feeling is an indication that you've gone beyond 75 of your oxygen ventilation actually, and this will now make you work at an aerobic pace where you don't need oxygen for respiration. And this one doesn't aid much in fat loss because fat loss is an oxidation activity. You require oxygen. So aerobic activity, especially the ones that are done in the gym, we have aerobic dance, we have maybe treadmill, walking on treadmill, and we have we have Zumba. Zumba done at an intense pace is not aerobic. HIIT training, high intensity training is not high intensity intermediate training is not aerobic. We have circuit. Circuit is also not aerobic. Circuit is anaerobic. So with this one, they have their benefit, but you really lose body fat. So aerobic activity is the one we need for burning fat. Aerobic activity. I'm limiting to burning fat because I know some people have a complicated goal. I want to build muscle and burn fat at the same time. It can happen, but you have to balance. But you can never convert fat to muscle directly. There's no such thing. I don't know if there's such thing. No, there's no such thing. Actually, you don't do that. So, To burn fat, you'll go for aerobic. But if you want to lift weight, which is an aerobic, then this is how you can do it. Allow me just rub here. Burning fat using weightlifting. Weightlifting, which is an aerobic. So, for you to burn fat with this weightlifting activity, first of all, sacrifice your goal, and build muscle. After building considerable amount of muscle, then use muscle to raise your metabolism. Alongside caloric restriction. What do I mean? First, don't worry about the fat loss. Just go to the gym, build muscle. When you're building muscle, forget about how your body changes in terms of burning fat, shrinking. Just make sure you can lift heavier. The stronger you get, the more muscular you get, and you'll always feel it. After building considerable amount of muscle, maybe you can do it for 3 months, 6 months. It depends with the time you have. Then use the muscle now to raise your metabolism. The more muscle you have, the higher metabolism. Alongside caloric restriction, you can now go to dieting. Maybe try intermittent fasting or any form of caloric restriction. With this muscle, you will find that your metabolism is high, and with less intake, you will tend to use more body fat for energy in times of absence of glucose. Now that is another way of losing fat using weightlifting. But if you want the direct method, use aerobic. If you want to go through this, build fat, build muscle, forget about weight loss momentarily, and you build considerable amount of muscle. After that, go to caloric deficit or caloric restriction, then you will lose fat as you retain your muscle, depending on the activity you'll be doing and your coach. Okay guys, that's it. Let's talk about diet. When it comes to diet, all there is to weight loss is caloric restriction. This food intake restriction, majorly they are just propaganda. Most of them have not been proven. There are some people who are eating some source of food. There are some people who are using some source of food, but they are not getting result you desire because, first of all, we have different DNA. Okay, our system, there's something called microbiota. This is our gut. Our gut are designed to perform some activity, and this microbiota is determined by our environment, and the food intake we've been used to. Sorry. For example, somebody feeding on starch for a long period of time will have a certain composition of microbiota. This might affect you when you drastically change your diet, because your microbiota are not designed, rather they are designed for specific type of food, maybe specific type of carb or specific type of nutrient. Okay, so when you want to lose weight, the biggest goal when it comes to diet is restricting diet. But we don't just restrict it because we want to lose weight. You don't do that. Now, let me give you a hint, people. I know some of you have. It's human nature. It's human nature. In business, they call it unsatiable want. People want to lose all the weight they gain in 10 years in a period of 3 months. That's not realistic. Come on, guys. Biologically, the right amount of body fat you can lose in a period of 1 week. 1 week. Let me just rub here. Sorry, bear with me. I don't have a big board. So the amount of body fat you should lose in a period of 1 week 1 week should be equivalent to 2.2 pounds, or rather 1 kg, and this 1 kg of body fat is equivalent to 7,700 calories. So beyond this is extreme. Beyond this is extreme, and anything extreme has repercussion. You will always pay for it. Okay? You will always pay for it. Health-wise, you will always pay for it health-wise. So just take it the normal pace, 1 kg of body fat per week if you can manage that. Because if you go beyond this, you'll have some issues, or even you might think you're losing weight from body fat, but you'll also lose weight from water. And also you might lose weight from muscle, this muscle catabolism, and bone corrosion. You push your body too much, you deny your body nutrient. What happens is you lose some of your bone density. The bones shape the minerals, you know. They are always backup for mineral like calcium, among others. So you might think you're losing from fat, but you'll be losing weight from water, you'll be losing weight from muscle, and also oh shit, it's bone. Bear with me. Bone. Mifupa. Good. Is it like this? I don't know. Yeah, so your target is to lose weight from body fat, but you take it too extreme, you end up losing water, you end up losing muscle, and then you just look like somebody is sick. Have you ever seen those guys who've gone extreme until they look like sluggish skin, like skin zimesag, ni kama mtu ametoka hosi hivi, he's been sick, admitted. Yeah, that is because he's taking it to extreme. So you only need to keep it 1 kg per week or something less. Between 0.7 to 1 kg is realistic. So these are main things we normally do, or we should do, to lose weight, but sometimes they don't work out. And what might be the reason? So let's go to weight loss inhibitors. Weight loss inhibitors. And by the way, this video is basically for, let's keep it in fitness realm. I'm not teaching you guys for, this is not it's educating you on fitness, not for medicinal purpose. Anything beyond this, just seek help from your physician. Usikuje watch video zangu ukasema he said we do this, so we do this. No, consult your physician. These are I'm only allowed to talk about this thing on a fitness realm. Anything beyond that, I'm not certified for that. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a certified fitness coach and nutritionist. So whatever I say here, take it for educative purpose. And before you take any measure, consult your doctor, because this is a real issue. This is a real life issue, and you don't make assumption. Like I said, this is a query and error of knowledge. We can run tests. We can always seek professional advice. With me, I'll only help you with weight loss, and I can suggest a problem, but the go-to person before we make any move is your doctor. So don't fear spending on your health. Health is the greatest wealth. You know, there's a famous guy by the name Jim Rohn. I think he died, Jim Rohn. He was a good speaker. He quoted a Bible verse that says, sometimes the spirit, or rather the soul, is willing, but the body is weak. So when your body is weak, actually you will always procrastinate. In your mind, you'll always be motivated. In your soul, you'll have that enthusiasm, but you cannot act. And you can plan all day, but the path that leads to success is first planning, then execution. So for you to execute, you must move yourself. So when the spirit is willing but the body is weak, you'll always be there. Procrastination, theft of time, theft of opportunity. So you just need to take care of your health, guys. You really need to. And I'm not going to tell you go to the gym. You can always let it slip away, and then at old age spend some money on medication, regret, and then the cycle continues from your children to your grandchildren. But the knowledge is here. You know what needs to be done. Nobody's going to point a gun at your head and tell you, hey, good fitness. Not me though, maybe somebody else. So let's go to weight loss inhibitors. Hizi ni blockage. Blockage in other term ni vitu zinakuzuia from reaching your destination. So one of them is something called hypothyroidism. Hypothyroidism. Bear with me if the spelling is not okay. So we have something called thyroid gland. Thyroid gland. It performs a lot of activity in our body, such as metabolism, temperature regulation, and energy. Also, it regulates energy, among others. Let me just stick to this for the sake of our topic. So metabolism, this is where we'll stick to. So thyroid glands has two hormones. One of them is T4 or thyroxine, if I'm not wrong. This T4 is a pro-hormone. What do I mean by pro-hormone? It doesn't really serve this role. It is an hormone that is inactive, so it needs to be activated by some catalyst to another state for it to perform. And then we have another one called T3. T3 is triiodothyronine. This is the active hormone. And then we have another one called reverse T3. Now this one is same as the, no, it's not same, it's the antagonist. Nikisema antagonist namaanisha ina reverse kazi ya hii. And it has a function. So usiseme kama, okay, this one is the most used and is the most important when it comes to metabolism, regulation of temperature and everything. This one is a pro-hormone, inactive hormone. So what happened is, our body converts T4 to T3, and T3 perform all the activity. So whenever you have this insufficient, in less amount, when you have less T3, you'll be in a state called hypothyroidism, and in hypothyroidism, the symptoms zitakuwa low metabolism, low metabolism. You tend to feel cold. Heat intolerance. The right term is heat intolerance. And a little bit weak. You'll be weak. Again, these signs might not necessarily mean that you have low T3, but high chances. When you have low T3, you'll be in this state. So when your metabolism is low, you know what happens? You don't burn too much fat. No matter how hard you work out, no matter how many diet restrict, you just don't burn the fat. Because burning fat is a metabolic activity. The converting of those glucose and food nutrients to energy. So low metabolism can be caused by this. Or sometimes you might be having enough this, but no, you might be having enough T3 and T4, some of it is converted to reverse T3. Reverse T3 blocks the function of T3. In other words, if this is where T3 was supposed to fit, and then this is T3, and then this is the gland, maybe, let's say. So what happened is, RT3 inakuja in a block. This is RT3. So you don't really, this one doesn't function. It doesn't function because it has been blocked by RT3. Again, there's a condition where your body activates RT3 so that it can take over and block T3 from functioning. We'll talk about later, so stick around, guys. I told you, this is more than your regular coach. This is more of educative, and we want to see exactly what you guys have been missing. And nobody dares to tell you because, okay, just a minute, guys. You know, fitness as a whole has been taken as an impromptu and a course where people take because maybe they failed in high school and such stuff. And that's why we don't take it serious, because whatever they are telling us doesn't make sense to an intellectual person. They'll tell you nonsense and when you look at it, you are not impressed, and what you say is you keep it at a bay. You keep it at a bay because the person you're seeking help from doesn't know how to help you because they just don't know, and that is why we've been neglecting fitness. But this is 21st century, and some of the pandemic we are having is obesity. 21st century obesity. We've gotten too comfortable. It's a comfort lifestyle. So obesity is hitting us, and somebody needs to address this issue before it's late. We cannot go back to the golden era, the primitive age, where we walk miles to work or we chase animals like cavemen. But there's something we can do. We can incorporate in our current lifestyle to curb obesity, and one of the ways to solve a problem is start by creating awareness, enlightening people, and talking about the real issue, addressing it head on. So that's why I'm here for you, man. You should listen to me actually. And it will be a shame for me to just say all this and still beg you guys to subscribe. You don't need me to do that. You can just share this. It's an educative program. You don't have to work out, but at least have the knowledge. And don't eat alone, man. Eat with your brothers. If you get an opportunity, make sure your niggas have it too. Make it contagious. So spread this message, spread the gospel of Tri-Fit Life. Gospel, good news actually, yeah? Okay, let's proceed. So hypothyroidism is a condition where you have less T3 and it lowers your metabolism. When your metabolism is low, you know what happens? You cannot burn too much fat, no matter how much you work out. So, in case you feel like I've been doing this for long but I don't see changes, what do you think might be the problem? I'm not suggesting that every time you don't lose weight is hypothyroidism, but you can always check with your doctors. And there are other signs of hypothyroidism. It doesn't have to be this one, but this one are among the signs. Consult with your doctor, and then they'll give you some of this hormone in pills form, depending on your condition. Then from there, after solving this, we can always know what is the next problem or what is the next obstacle after hypothyroidism. Should it be? Again, there is a contrary to hypothyroidism, which is hyper. Hyper is especially for those people who don't get fat. I shouldn't be using the term fat. See if I do my fat, senior. Yeah, they told me in a fitness school that don't tell a client he's fat or she's fat. But I just don't care, man. If you're fat, you're fat. Let me tell you you're fat so that you can be ashamed of it. Alafu fanye kitu, sio? Yeah, take action. Take action because your body is a reflection of your mind and your action. So, you're not fat though. No, I didn't say you're fat. You just, I don't know. So, hyper is for those who are skinny. My skinny nigga, slim shady. There's some people who can eat, but they don't get fat. So it might be as a result of hyper, but I'm talking of weight loss, and I'm talking about people who have weight issue, especially they want to take it down, so we'll stick to hypothyroidism. Now this is the first inhibitor. Now for more information about this, it's always good to consult your physician, but we can always help. The next inhibitor to weight loss is something that it's very, very hard for me to convince people about this. It's very hard, but I don't know. Metabolic adaptation. Metabolic adaptation. So this is what metabolic adaptation is. There's a fitness. There's a former bodybuilder by the name Mike Menz. He was so much into a certain training technique called heat training, and he believed that for you to lose weight, you have to restrict calories. But again, one of his students by the name Dorian Yates advised the client, if you're not losing weight on a low caloric intake, try adjusting your calories. So why would somebody tell you to adjust your calorie when you should lower it to lose weight? Because of something called metabolic adaptation. Now what is metabolic adaptation? Metabolic adaptation comes from something called caloric threshold. Kumbe mabudi wanakuwa na kizungu hivi eh? Sawa. So what is caloric threshold? This is the amount of calorie. This is the amount of calorie. Is the amount of caloric intake rather, caloric intake below which your body activate starvation mode. Starvation mode. So what do I mean by this? I mean there's a certain amount of calories, there is certain amount of calorie your body. And when I say your body, it is individual, not what works for you will work for me. There's certain amount of calorie your body is programmed or designed to function with, below which if you reduce it, your body will sense that we are in Kalahari Desert. There's no food here, there's no water. So what your body does is it activates what we call starvation mode. So your body feels like we are starving, we are in a state where there's no food. So we need to save ourselves. We need to activate safe mode. And in starvation mode, your body lowers its metabolism, with the help of RT3. I talked about it when talking about hypothyroidism. So your body is in a state of low metabolism. Another thing, your body preserves the nutrient such as fat and especially fat, and your body might resolve into using muscles for energy. Muscles catabolism. Yeah. So this is the term. So how does this happen? Caloric deficit. Maybe you're fasting 24 hours, you're fasting 18 hours, and you do it over and over non-stop. You want to lose 10 pounds in 1 week. What happens is your body senses danger. We're in danger, too many more food. We're starving. Now what do? We protect ourselves. Your body has to protect itself. It's designed that way. It will sacrifice something to save another thing. So you are desperately trying to burn fat to the point where you don't take fat, both natural, and remember, we need fat for cholesterol. And this cholesterol helps in manufacture of hormones, some hormones like testosterone. So when you starve yourself to the point where the body feels like, I'm not going to get fat for hormones, what does it do? It preserves some fat, and as a result, because you need energy, your body will resolve into something which is muscle. I know you're desperately trying to burn fat while preserving the muscle. Now this is what your body doesn't know. It doesn't know your goal. It doesn't know that you want to burn only fat and leave muscle. And again, your body doesn't know that you don't want fat from tummy and you want fat from Nash. This is for the ladies. I don't know. Do men want Nash? No, they don't. Okay. They tell me men don't want Nash, but I saw a Nigerian guy with big Nash. He actually did BBL. So I'm not talking about that. So actually, when you starve, when you go extreme with caloric deficit, your body senses danger and it resolves into something called metabolic adaptation, where your body lowers metabolism to preserve some fat because it needs fats. There's so many uses of fat, good uses actually, which we'll talk about in another video. So make sure you just stick with us. Whenever we launch something, you'll be the first one to know. And these things are very, very important because there are issues that nobody wants to tell you until you reach that 11th hour, where it's so critical that you have to pay for medication and you're going to be subjected to pills and everything. But you can always handle them at ease. You don't have to sweat too much financially and physically if you know this. So that's why you need to stick with us, because next we might be talking about why you need fat and what amount. There are figures cooked by computer. People Google stuff in internet, but they are just hypothesis. How can I call them? Those are average figures. They don't work for everybody. Some researchers have been done with people from Arctic region, polar region, but maybe you are in an equatorial region. You know the temperature environment is always different, but you're using a sample for somebody who is in polar region. It won't work the same way. So you need to know who you are, you need to know where you are, and you need to know what might work for you and what might not work for you. That's why you need us. Actually, you just need us as we need you. So let's stick together, guys. You have to subscribe and always activate that bell, you know. So metabolic adaptation is where your metabolism goes low because you've been starving. So whenever your metabolism goes low, what happens is you won't burn the fat, you burn the muscle, you lose weight, but majorly from muscle, You don't want this, you want it like wellness. We'll be talking about steroids, what they really are, how they affect your body, and their effect, how to use them. Because we have that information, but it's politically incorrect to use them. We'll talk about SAMs, peptide, and everything. So unless you want to incorporate this with this one, it's so hard to get this body flat, tummy, and big nash at the same time. This one you can get with BBL. I'm not advocating for this, I don't want to talk about it. Flat tummy, their stuff. Bikini body is a combination for this. And BC. So how does BC affect weight loss? Let me go there. Birth control lowers vitamin T. I call it vitamin T. Women need it, men need it most. This is another name for testosterone. Women have low amount of testosterone, but again, when they use birth control, it tends to lower it further. With the low testosterone, what rises is estrogen. Is it called estrogen? Estrogen hormone. And birth control also have something called progesterone. A combination of this hormone facilitate body fat. Facilitate accumulation of body fat. When you have body fat, there are areas in your body called fat adipose layers or tissues, the region where fatness will most likely accumulate at. And one of them is your back, thighs, and midsection. So this area is where you are most likely to get fat at. The back area, the thighs, and the midsection. This is the midsection, the core area. So when you are on birth control, you'll be having high estrogen and progesterone, which will facilitate accumulation of fat. And you'll have low testosterone. Testosterone helps with so many things, including burning fat. So once you are under this, I'm not saying all product. Actually, the debate is going on, but the scale tends to lean on the affirmative side, that birth control tends to make women fatter, you know. So when you're on birth control, just be realistic with yourself. Go to the gym, eat and keep fit, but don't force yourself to try to lose too much, because it might frustrate you and you might have anxiety, mental pressure and everything. We don't want you to do that. You're beautiful and you're happy, you know? Yeah. So that is it. I'm not going deep on this because actually this might garner more questions than I thought. So let me just keep it there. So guys, these are among the few weight loss inhibitors. Just to run an overview shortly, we talked about hypothyroidism, and then we talked about metabolic adaptation, and then we talked about use of BC for women. They are not the only, but they're among the major weight loss inhibitors, or rather blockage. Okay. There are other factors. They don't necessarily need to be this, but these are among the major. So if you really want to lose weight, what you should do is before you make any move, check with this thing and then get a good coach. There's so many ways of training, and people follow people blindly on social media the person you're following is desperate for followers and attention, and he'll give you anything as long as he feels or she feels this will attract attention. Training has to be scientific, and you can never dispute science. And anything scientific is straight to the point. You can never change it. You know, when we mix water and paraffin, if they don't mix, they don't mix. Nobody should tell you that you should put water first. You know, there's not that conspiracy. So, guys, that's it for today. I want you all to be so keen with where you get your information from. Like Mark Passio once said, be so cautious with who feeds you the information, because whatever you get is what you believe, and that will shape your life. So, for accurate, scientifically proven ways of how to handle fitness as a whole, we are attacking fitness, sex and beauty as a whole in our channel, and most of the things we'll be talking about has to be scientifically proven or a proven hypothesis. So we are not going here to make fun, make jokes just to get your attention. No, this is for learning. So if you're not here for learning purpose, or maybe for learning purpose in realm of fitness, we won't entertain you much. But if you're here to learn, actually, this is the channel to go to. I'm the one you should listen to. And there are fitness socialites who are propagating lies and myths and some fallacy about fitness. We'll also tackle them one by one. Hatuhitaji leo, lakini si ndio kaa grandpa kiboko yao tumekuja kuwachapa. Thank you guys.